TGCRequiem here. We're back with Modern Dredge. Playing something a little different tonight. Had a poll on Twitter to see what people wanted to play, and Dredge came out the winner. We're going to be on the play. Not a deck I've played much of. I have played it a little bit. We do run it as one of the kind of gauntlet decks that we have in our play group. I do think this is good. Not extraordinarily powerful, but we do have the ability to Faithless Looting and get a Dredger in turn 1, so we're going to roll with that. And we potentially could have a really sick turn if we get some more Dredgers after the fact. I think if we had a different type of explosive hand, we could strongly consider going with Insolent Neonate first, but Faithless Looting seems like the clear winner there. Inquisition, and we have 2 Cathartic Reunions, so there's not a whole lot they can do. Unfortunately, our black mana source went missing there. I'm gonna discard the Loam and the Narcomoeba. We can't really cast Narcomoeba in most scenarios. Loam. Ouch. Okay, so got a couple Conflagrates in the yard, and we do have Life from Loam, so we can hopefully get that engine rolling. But otherwise, our Dredgers kind of fell flat there. So long as our opponent is not too fast, and an assumption here at this point is that they're a BG deck, you know, that it's possible that we can kind of grind them out here with Loam and Glitter Blossom. So we've got some black-white token action going on. So we want the black mana source. Probably Copperline and the Mountain. And then I think we just run out a Neonate here. We can just probably plan to Neonate Stinkweed this turn. Opponent's going to start doing some damage themselves. They can kind of block all day, but we can Conflagrate their board away kind of over and over. Oh man, we're going to get all those blood gas out there. And with the Life from the Loam engine, this is just going to be pretty brutal. We could actually just Conflagrate their board right now. but I'd almost rather just make sure we're only hitting their attackers, because we can just grind them out over and over here and then throw big chunks with Conflagrate at them later. And it's possible they throw an Anthem down, which would be a bit of a bummer, I suppose, right? So if we had Conflagrated there, we could have gotten a lot more value. And now everything can block. We still can Conflagrate their entire board here. Though we're only going to do 3. So I think we played the Mesa, which allows us to return the Bloodghasts as we need them. Should wipe out their board. And then again, we have lethal on board. They're going to be able to throw some Lingering Souls tokens out, but we should be able to pair with the Bitter Blossom, get enough damage through where we can Life from the Loam, and then Conflagrate again. Now we have 2 Conflagrates. Again, we're not really concerned about this. And then we just Conflagrate the opponent. Looks like maybe they're conceding here. Yeah. Alright, so turn 6 win. Nice. We'll be on the draw post board here. So we've got a goat wide strategy, definitely want the Conflagrates. Collective Brutality could actually be pretty good against them. They're going to have a lot of token generating spells. Abrupt Decay I feel like would be good. They're probably going to be running Rest in Peace? Are they going to run Rest in Peace? Yeah, I mean, they're really the only spell that they really care about in their graveyard is Lingering Souls, so I think they can afford to play Rest in Peace out of their sideboard. Dark Blast seems phenomenal here. So as we look at this deck, we got 5 cards we need to pull out. We don't mind cycling the Bloodghasts. We could probably pull a Neonate here. We don't need to be that aggressive. We probably can pull a deck more salvage. Stinkweed's good against flyers, so we probably want to keep that there. I think I'm going to cut 2 Cathartic Reunion. Just because Collective Brutality kind of does the same thing. It's not the same, but it's similar enough. And I think we're maybe just going to... Well, maybe we'll just cut 1 loam. So this is a really good hand for dredging. I'm wondering now if we should have brought Thoughtseize in. See, I would think my opponent's probably going to pull Thoughtseize out on their side. They might keep a couple in. The risk we have here is that if they rest in peace us, this hand's really not great by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't think we can mulligan. Otherwise, this is a really good hand. And I don't think we can mulligan to a. That's interesting. That makes me almost feel like, well, maybe they're running like a Mutavault or something. We just can't, with only 2 Abrupt Decays, like... Oh, look at there. I was going to say, we just can't, like, with 2 Abrupt Decays... mulligan until we find one. That's what I'm trying to get at. Alright, okay, so they concealed Courtyard. Tormund's Crypt, that's fine. So now we know next game to bring in... the other guy, the Ancient Grudge. So I think here, though, the question is, do we start Collective Brutalitying our opponent? Or do we just blow up the Tormund's Crypt? I think we actually just blow up the Tormund's Crypt. Rather, we can get more value by Collective Brutalitying later. Kind of force him to crack it now. Conflagrate's a great card to discard, so we're going to cast with probably 3 modes. We want to gain the life. We also want to pitch Haunted Death, so we're going to cast with 3 modes. Take out one of the spirits. Get rid of Spectral Procession. I just don't see Persecution being that huge. Gideon is pretty big game. Spectral Procession is quite a bit better though. All those flyers. Can try and at least conflagrate away Gideon. Faithless Looting is pretty good here because we need to get a dredger or a land. The opponent flips the Gideon. Oh man, they could Zealous Persecution. Okay. Yeah, I think we definitely have to go for Faithless Looting to try and hit the land. And I think we do need to just go after this Zealous Persecution, because if they just come down and Anthem with Gideon right away, we're kind of in trouble. And we really need to hit a dredger real bad. Or do we just want to save 2 life? Well, they also could have drawn into more. Yeah, I think we do. Take another creature and reveal hand. Tangible Virtue and Gideon. Oh, between the two of them, it's going to be really difficult to do anything here. We really need to get a life from the loam. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him just token here. Maybe they uptick, start swinging with Gideon directly. Also totally viable. So we're actually going to cast the one from the graveyard here over the one in hand, because we really need to get dredgers. Hold on. Alright, so that's loam. The opponent anthems. That's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oof. We just might not have enough. I think we actually need to pitch these 2 cards, play Copperline. That allows us to dredge and conflagrate next turn, you know, but I think it's going to be too little too late. They may just uptick with their Gideon, and they still have Shambling Vent. So that's what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just don't see a way out of this for us here. Five plus. Oh yeah, that lethal. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so that's game. That was a quick loss. Luckily we're on the play here for the 3rd game. Matches up to 1-1. It's funny, I'm so bad about keeping the match tracker up to date. I actually put a note on my computer and I still forget to do it. Alright, so I think we can consider Ancient Grudge over Abrupt Decay based on what we saw. That doesn't mean that they're not going to run Rest in Peace, but they might not be. And so if we can try to be more focused on our Dredge engine, that's better for us. I don't know how much I care. I don't want to say I care about Collective Brutality. I think I almost prefer to go Thoughtseize Cathartic Reunion, especially on the play, just to try and get at whatever they have there. So that gives us 2 more cards than we need. I think we could, we can consider cutting a Bloodghast. I don't know that I really want to. Cut a deck, more salvage, yeah. I think we're going to cut a Bloodghast. Just because Bloodghast can't block is really the big thing. I mean, I think this is keepable. They could Tormod's Crypt. We should hopefully be able to blow it up. Opponent is taking a little bit of time to decide on their mulligan, which probably means they're either like they have good hate but a really clunky hand, or they have a good hand but no hate, or marginally good hand with no hate. So far pretty pleased with how we're doing with the deck tonight. Again, this was chosen by the subscribers who follow me on Twitter. Thank you for following, and thank you for voting for what you want to see. It's getting pretty late tonight. Starting to get a wee bit tired. I think we want to keep the Thoughtseize. I think we're going to go with Amalgam and pitch an Ancient Grudge. Hope our opponent doesn't flip a Tormod's Crypt. Really, any sort of dredger here is what we're looking for. I almost feel like this has to be raise the alarm here. That requires them to block with both. Pitch a Thoughtseize here. Hit a Bloodghast, beautiful. So again, at this point, we still don't have any dredgers. I think we just go with another Faithless Looting, hold up our Ancient Grudge. So if we can go Cathartic Reunion, Stinkweed, Stinkweed, that's pretty big game next turn. I still don't draw a land, however, so the Bloodghast doesn't really do anything. Yeah, so actually I think we're gonna go this route. And then we'll plant a Cathartic, pitching Stinkweed, Stinkweed. And then hopefully one of the three, if we end up drawing 3 cards, one of the cards we get will be a land. So we're going to pitch Stinkweeds. That gets us 2 dredges. And then we can dredge one more time, or we can hope to draw a land. I think we just hope to draw a land. Get obscenely lucky. The other benefit here is this allows us to actually Dark Blast. I suppose we could Faithless Looting here, dredge off of Dark Blast. I don't like we can afford to take the damage though. Maybe better here to just Gideon here is going to be ugly. Couple intangible virtues are going to be ugly as well. And again, we don't mind swapping. The concern I think we have is that our opponent is likely going to like Zealous Persecution us or something. Yeah, I think that's probably just game. I don't think there's any way we can deal with enough of these creatures to really matter. I'm not sure that I fought this game on the right axis. So again, we can conflagrate here. It would allow us to get rid of 2 creatures. The opponent would be getting at least 6 damage through. I think the first thing we need to do is see if we get lucky and they block our Bloodghasts. If they do, there's a chance. If they don't, that's pretty much game. Yeah. If we had a way to blow up the intangible virtue, that would buy us another turn, but as it is, with them now having the 2 toughness, this Dark Blast is not worth the paper it's printed on. I'm just, before I completely give up hope here, I mean, I suppose we could cast Stinkweed. We still take 6 though. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. This is like a completely outside shot, but we're going to go 2-2. So they have 6 power left on board, 8 power left on board. So we can block 1 and we can Dark Blast to just go down to 5 life. But again, I don't think this really does anything. It buys us another turn, but I'm pretty certain we're still done. If they get any sort of Anthem effect, yep, we're just going to concede here. Scoop the opponent, they got the win. And man, that deck sure can clock you pretty quick. Black-white tokens, they got there. If you want to see more of this Dredge League, click the link to the video on the left. In the center, there's a subscribe option, and then on the right, there is a link to the playlist for Dredge. Have a good night.